Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to yet another episode of Decoding the Polls, a series of podcasts, discussions, and webinars organized and hosted by the Center for Public Policy Research around election times. I am Sri Lakshmi and your host for the day. As the second longest election in Indian history has come to a conclusion, we have seen an unexpected resurgence of the India alliance. Despite exit polls overwhelmingly favoring a decisive victory for the incumbent BJP led NDA government, the actual election results paint a starkly different picture. In this episode, we delve into the shifting dynamics of the electoral landscape with esteemed guest D. Dhanuraj, Chairman CPPR, and Mr. K.V. Thomas, former Assistant Director, Intelligence Bureau, Government of India, and is also our Senior Fellow. Join us as we analyze and reflect on the implications of these election results, exploring the intricacies of the Indian politics and the evolving role of alliances. Now, let me hand over the stage to Dr. Dhanraj to take this conversation further.
Thank you, Sri Lakshmi. Thank you, Thomas sir, for joining this very interesting evening. I was actually wondering, 7 o'clock in the morning, and we are meeting at 7 o'clock in the evening, 7 o'clock in the morning and 7 o'clock in the evening. India has changed a lot in the political landscape, and probably the political narrative changed within 12 hours. And I see that that's the beauty of Indian democracy, India's diversity, and also now water is the king. Finally, again and again, it is proving that water is the king. No matter no matter academicians and psychologists and pollsters talk about elections, it's a voter who decides. The value of voter vote is significantly highlighted in today's outcome. And I should start with a submission. I mean, I've been hosting this series of discussion the last 2 months, and my understanding and expectation was that there is no wave in favor of. I mean, there is no wave in favor of Modi like what we had observed or what we have experienced in 2014 and 2019. But at the same time, my understanding was that uh, no, there is an anti-incumbency also, but it is not strong enough to give a mandate which will end up in a number which is less than 300. I mean, that was my understanding. I thought BJP and NDA will cross 300 or 310 because when election campaign started, I remember I tweeted one day saying that I changed my base to 2014 election results. I'm no more looking at the 2019 election results, but my assessment will be based on 2014 election. There is a reason for that because I concluded by talking to many people, it would be somewhere around what BJP and allies got in 2014. That was 282 seats for BJP and other, plus allies number. But today was strikingly, different. The results, early morning trends were in favor of BJP and India, but as we progress with the EVM rounds 405, the picture was very clear that BJP is not going to cross 272 seats. That is the number for absolute majority. So my first question to you, sir, are you surprised? Were you expecting that? Because I was not expecting that. Are you surprised seeing these numbers now?
Dr. Dano, thank you very much for your presentation and your question. Really, I am also surprised. Because of the fact that such a trend was not at all expected from the Hindi heartland. At the same time, some surprises have taken place in the southern India also, especially as you are aware in Kerala and also in this Orissa, that is Orissa and Andhra Pradesh, some surprises were there. The indications were there already there in respect of Andhra Pradesh. But the NDA and BJP suffered major setback in the cow belt, which is say that the Hindi heartland, which they were claiming almost a seam, especially the states like UP, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Uttarakhand. But they could only keep their flag high. In some states like Madhya Pradesh, they won all the 29 seats. Even the single seat which was earlier held by Kamal Nath's son in Chindwara, that they lost. But at the same time, the Uttarakhand also the situation was there. Chhattisgarh was there, but scenario drastically changed in Jharkhand. Almost 50% of the seats were won by India Alliance, that is Congress. So if we take in the totality of the situation, in the Western front also they suffered some reverses, especially the Rajasthan. Rajasthan, they made a spectacular victory during the last assembly elections, but almost 50% of the Lok Sabha seats were retained or recaptured by Congress in this election. So definitely there were reverses in Rajasthan also. But in a closer analysis, what we find is that really the NDA or BJP was saved by South Indian states because they had a last minute understanding or alliance with Chandrababu Naidu's TDP and also some sort of a political game in Orissa with a BJD was sidelined and they made a sterling victory. It was also a surprise, unexpected. 19 states they won in Orissa. Perhaps these two victories in Andhra Pradesh, they won with the help of TDP and the number of seats they won in Orissa, sidelining or almost disseminating in the BJD, that has actually helped the NDA or BJP to retain their power at the center.
So, sir, I think we should also discuss Bengal, West Bengal, because the talk in the town was last time BJP had 18 seats, and this time, I think after second or third phase, when I had this conversation with my network partners there, they said it could reach up to 23 or 24. For BJP, it could reach up to 23 or 24. But now I think BJP is finishing around by around 10 or 11 total number of seats that they are winning. And the BJP had this idea that even though they lose some in some seats in some other states, they will be able to compensate those loss by winning more number of seats in West Bengal. But that didn't happen. Second is all the exit polls, especially when they discuss West Bengal, many of the exit polls were saying that Didi will be decimated this time. Didi will be the whole TMC will be finished. But it looks like Didi become the one of the players. I say two players of players of the match today. One is Akhilesh Yadav, second is Didi. And so, how do you look at? I mean, and Sandesh Kali, I think now everyone is discussing that it didn't work out for BJP. Even that, I think if I'm not wrong, that seat is won by TMC. And Prime Minister had traveled to West Bengal and then CAA. In fact, even CAA amendment. My understanding is that West Bengal was getting more seats. That they bought the CAA amendment just before the elections. So how do you look at West Bengal scenario?
So very correct. Your assessment is very correct because the thing was that in West Bengal, they played a lot of games. Sandesh Kali game they played. Then, as you pointed out, that the CAA issue was there, and But in spite of all these political games, what happened is that the rural Bengals stood solidly behind Didi. That was the main factor which helped the Didi to overcome all these threats. And another thing also was that the Sandesh Kali, to a certain extent, was backfired because the rhetoric was created by the media that it was there that a lot of atrocities or excesses were committed against the women. But on the ground level in the Bengali politics, it did not create any major impact. My feedback from Bengal, my ex-colleagues who were working in the Bengal area, they pointed out that despite the rhetoric created by the media and the sensationalism by BJP through their campaign in Sandesh Kali and some other place, Didi has grassroots level support that has translated into a vote bank. So out of that, they are leading some 30 seats. And as you pointed out that BJP was an overestimate. They were anticipating that some in between 20 to 25 seats will be captured in West Bengal. And whatever losses they will be suffering in other states will be compensated by the West Bengal. Similarly, the BJP game or their strategy also backfired in the case of Maharashtra. Maharashtra also, they played a lot of game. They split this Shiva Sena was split into two, then NCP was split into two, and a lot of game was played in Maharashtra. And despite all these political games and political strategy, Maharashtra also, they could not make much impact. And majority of the seats were done by this the alliance of NCP and the Eknath Shinde group, Eknath group of the party, Shiva Sena party. So in these two states, West Bengal and Maharashtra, they could not make any impact. At the same time, their calculations also misfired or went wrong in Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh, as you pointed out, that Akhilesh Yadav has become a hero because unlike in the past elections, in the state elections or Lok Sabha elections, the game played by Akhilesh Yadav was that instead of fielding a lot of Yadava candidates, what he has done is a number of new faces, especially from OBC candidate were fielded in a number of places, especially in Western UP and some parts of the UP. This has created a drastic impact, and that has sizably cut into the vote bank of BJP in many areas. And it was a lot of surprise for BJP, even in Amethi, Raebareli, and so many states which they have estimated as a sure seat. They lost it. For example, that Amethi seat. So in UP, they have faced serious reverses. That has also totally affected their prospects of winning more than 300 seats, or this their calculations or the dream of 400 par was also totally failed.
So since you mentioned 400 par, in UP, we don't have the data to sit in detail, but whatever data I could gather in last few hours tells me that Dalit votes have gone to SP Congress alliance. And one of the expectations that was that the BJP will get those BSP votes because BSP is almost like finished there. And but that didn't happen. In turn, it went to Yadav, Akhilesh Yadav's and Congress kitty. And so this is because BJP for the last 9-10 years has built a homogeneous Hindu community vote from upper caste to the OBC to Dalits. But now we see there is a break in that coalition that Amit Shah and Narendra Modi built the last 10 years. So is it the Dalit vote that made a huge difference this time in UP for in favor of Akhilesh and Congress?
This Dalit vote was a major factor in the UP because a lot of OBC candidates were for, because there were some clashes already with the Dalits and the Yadavas, because the strategy of Akhilesh Yadav of fielding a number of OBC popular candidates, new faces, that has helped to cut a sizable percentage of Dalit votes in a number of constituencies. So the percentage of BSP vote has substantially come down. And on the other hand, this vote has gone to the alliance of SP Congress alliance. So that has also helped this alliance to capture a number of seats in UP. As per the latest indications that more than some 42 or 40, in between 42 to 45 seats will be won by the SP Congress alliance. The counting is still going on because in the tally of BJP the last time has more than 62 votes, 62 seats they have won in UP, that it has substantially come down. So the alliance of SP Congress, that was worked very well. But we should take into account, earlier also there were alliance of SP Congress and BSP, but that they could not give a formidable challenge to NDA or BJP. But this time, it was worked at grassroots level because of the new strategy adopted by the Akhilesh Yadav. And apart from that, there were also other factors which could be exploited or which could be worked to the advantage of India alliance. For example, the caste issue, caste survey, and the economic survey and caste survey, that the slogan which was raised by the Rahul Gandhi and India alliance in particular, that could also have much impact in the UP area. Another factor was that is Agniveer. For example, the new defense policy of Agniveer and unemployment, that was sizably impacted in the two states. One is in Haryana and another is Punjab, and also it was some impact in UP, especially in places like Meerut, then Lucknow and Aligarh and others. There's a lot of unemployment. If you go into the grassroots level of the UP politics, despite the tall claims by Yogi and others, and the double engine Sarkar there, a lot of issues are there in the UP. For example, unemployment is a serious problem. For example, in many areas, unemployment is there, but there is development at the superficial development is there. A lot of work has been going on. For example, highways, this thing and other thing. But the rural people and the common people are worstly affected in the many parts of the UP. That factor also worked to the disadvantage of the NDA alliance in UP.
Okay, so we will come back to UP because I have a few more questions about UP, about future of BJP and BJP's leadership. But coming to, I think BJP also able to retain Assam. I think they gained one more seat in their alliance with AGP in Assam. So Northeast delivered what BJP was expecting, except I think Inner Manipur Congress candidate won. But otherwise, more or less, not big suffering. There is not a big suffering for BJP in Northeast. And then UP played the spoil sport, and then the calculation West Bengal didn't work out. And of course, Rajasthan, they lost more than what they were expecting. But now coming to Karnataka, out of 28 seats, I think BJP calculated around 20 seats. But now I don't think they have. I think they got 18, 19 seats.
18,
But still,
19.
but still, Karnataka they were expecting more because poll after polls, many observe, many with confidence, many said Lok Sabha election is different from state assembly elections. When election happens to Lok Sabha, voters will vote for BJP, but it didn't work out. And then probably we can also discuss BJP opened one seat in Kerala. Then they have gained 4 seats in Telangana. Then in the alliance with the TDP, they have an NDA partner gaining 16 seats from Andhra Pradesh. So I think it looks like your coastal states saved BJP. Going below maybe 220 seats. Southern India saved them.
Very correct. The Southern India picture has actually or definitely worked to the advantage of NDA BJP in the last phase of the elections because they entered into an alliance with the TDP. Chandrababu Naidu, who was also suffering a lot because the YSR Congress was humiliated like anything. What happened to Arvind Kejriwal in Delhi? He was arrested and sent to jail. And there was a clear sympathy wave in favor of this Chandrababu Naidu. And another thing also, the Chandrababu Naidu's government, the TDP government earlier in Andhra Pradesh, undivided Andhra Pradesh, they had done a lot of good work, especially in undivided Andhra Pradesh. But because of some realignment of politics, because of the demographic change in their complexion of the political thinking of the demographic, that adversely affected the Chandrababu Naidu. This time it was very clear because our assessment was also that this TDP NDA alliance will sweep the polls in Andhra Pradesh and the state government will also be headed by a TDP. Chandrababu Naidu's party will come into power and Congress will not get over there because Congress was independently contesting the polls, but they could not make much impact in Andhra Pradesh. And that helped the NDA a lot. And then coming back to Telangana also, the picture was there. Revati, Chief Minister, he has done a lot of good things, but that has not checked the formidable political the attack of the NDA, the BJP in this thing. That has also worked to the advantage because a lot of promises were made. And the impact of Andhra, that was also another factor. The TDP alliance with the NDA, BJP, that impact has also worked into some parts of the Telangana, especially those bordering the Andhra Pradesh, because of that extensive propaganda by the Prime Minister Modi and NDA. That had also some fallout in the voting pattern in Telangana. That is why it was a 50-50, 8 seats won by that NDA alliance and 8 seats by the Congress party there. Then regarding the Karnataka picture, the Karnataka, the BJP or NDA alliance was overestimating their assessment because they had an alliance with the JDS, with Devagowda and Kumaraswamy alliance, because they thought that the Gowda vote will also be translated into BJP and they will defeat the Congress in majority of the seats. But that doesn't work because of so many issues, because many of that. And another thing is also, surprisingly, our main character, Prajul Revanna, was also defeated in Hassan. The Hassan is considered to be the one of the citadel, but the traditional family seat of the Devagowda family, Kumaraswamy and others. Even that seat was lost because of there were so many controversies. So the unpopularity of this Prajul Devanna or Devagowda family. So the JDS vote cannot be translated, or the particular community's vote cannot be translated into that. And another factor, which is that the BJP is not a homogeneous setup in Karnataka, because a lot of internal differences within the party is there. Because even at the time of the selection of candidates, also some of these issues have come up. So this Yediyurappa's nominated, and his son is now heading the state unit of Karnataka that was not endorsed by the old generation leaders. Many leaders are not endorsing this leadership of this Yediyurappa's son, who is now heading the Karnataka unit of the party. So the Karnataka, all these factors work. But one factor is that D.K. Shivakumar, who was the architect of the Congress victory in the last Karnataka elections, his brother was defeated. D.K. Suresh was defeated. That was a surprise in many respects. So coming back to Kerala, Kerala assessment was almost because almost all the parties anticipated this Kerala, and there was a BJP may win, NDA may win one seat, and one seat has already gone to Trichy, that Suresh Gopi has one more on his personal popularity because of the last time also when we discussed about this NDA BJP prospects, because of the women candidates, cutting across the political leanings or other things. A lot of women voters casted their vote in favor of Suresh Gopi in Trichy constituency. That was more than 75,000 votes. He won the seat of Trichy. But in Trivandrum also there was a tough fight. By a tough fight, Rajiv Chandrasekhar has given a very tough fight to Shashi Tharoor, but at the last minute he saved. But Tharoor won the election because of the support of the coastal belt. The coastal constituencies, especially the people of the coastal belt, the urban areas of the Trivandrum district, were voted in favor. At one time, Rajiv Chandrasekhar was leading more than 25,000 votes when the counting started in the urban areas or the city areas of the Trivandrum. But slowly his lead subsided or reduced, because when the counting started in the coastal polling stations. Because actually this time also the coastal belt saved Shashi Tharoor in Trivandrum. So I think also there was a tough fight, because the three is a triangular fight. And similarly in Alleppey, in many districts. And in totality, when we assess the Kerala polls, 2-3 factors are very, very clear. One factor is that total erosion and lack of credibility of the present government in power. The anti-incumbency has created such an impact that even the traditional vote bank of the CPM or LDF has eroded in so many constituencies, assembly constituencies. This may reflect in the assembly elections. Definitely will result. A closer analysis subsequently, if we make in Trivandrum Lok Sabha seat, Antikal Lok Sabha seat, Alleppey Lok Sabha seat, Trichur Lok Sabha seat, Palakkad Lok Sabha seat, and the Kasaragod Lok Sabha seat, if we make a closer analysis, the percentage of the votes polled by BJP in some of the assembly segments of these constituencies are substantially high. For example, the defeat of Mr. Joy in the Antikal constituency, because in all the 7 assembly segments were retained by LDF with a comfortable margin. And even in Joy's constituency, assembly constituency, he could not get a substantially better. The BJP could make a substantially. Same was the case with Alleppey. That is, Shobha Surendran has made a spectacular performance in Alleppey, in Palakkad, also in many constituencies. So this we will consider, we should treat that a triangular politics, a bipolar politics has ended in Kerala, and a triangular politics has come. And in that emergence of the triangular politics, the major loser will be LDF or CPM. Because if we make a close analysis, the defeat of LDF or CPM in the majority of the Lok Sabha seats, not only that one, their vote bank are substantially eroded in a number of assembly constituencies which they have traditionally held for years. Another factor which is which has come into the consolidation of minorities, because there was a lot of efforts from the LDF or CPM camp to woo the Muslim voters. For example, the issues like this Lebanon issues, the Palestine issues, CAA issue, Hamas issue, so many issues were exaggerated or flabbergasted or vestige propaganda was carried out in the northern district. But the margin of victory of UDF candidates, the northern Lok Sabha constituencies demonstrate that there was a total consolidation of Muslim vote in favor of UDF. And in the constituencies like, for example, the Vadagara or Kannur or the Malappuram or Ponnani, the lead is running in lakhs. So it's a clear indication that despite all the strategy played or tactics played by CPM or LDF to make some inroads into various Muslims, they have miserably failed. Instead, there was a backlash from other communities, which has also resulted in a very poor performance of the LDF, the number of Lok Sabha constituencies in the northern districts of Kerala.
What happened in Tamil Nadu, sir? Because I mean, some exit polls predicted 3 to 4 seats for for BJP in Tamil Nadu, or on an average, they were expecting, I think, Coimbatore or Kanyakumari seat. But even after huge effort by the central BJP leadership, they could not win any seat in Tamil Nadu. But at the same time, when I was checking poll vote share of BJP in Tamil Nadu, I think it has crossed 16 or 17%. For Tamil Nadu, even I think Kerala BJP had a better vote share compared to Tamil Nadu BJP before these elections. But now I think BJP has increased their vote sharing significantly in Tamil Nadu as well. At the same time, I was also looking at AIADMK's vote share. Even though they have not won any seat, I think they have got around 23 or 24%. So we don't know what is going to happen in 2026 elections, because one learning, or probably, because BJP is infamous for eating into coalition partners. Now today they are facing they have a reality check. Without a coalition partner, they can't rule this country. With reference to Tamil Nadu politics, maybe if they change their approach, there is a possibility still to go with ADMK and have a good fight in the state assembly elections that will happen in 2026. But now coming to national, so far, I think with the data that we have looked at every major state. But what do you think about government formation? I'm not doubting the formation of NDA government. I don't know what is the final tally for BJP. In my calculation, if BJP doesn't fall below 230, the game is still in favor of BJP. If the final tally of BJP alone is not falling short of 230. If it is about 235, 240, BJP has an upper hand compared to what India Alliance having. But I'm actually wondering whether, because BJP has not officially responded as of now before this show, till that time, I don't think BJP has responded officially to the poll verdict. So do you think somebody like Narendra Modi is still ready to run a coalition government? Because in his 20 years of administrative leadership, 2002 to 2024, 2002 to 2014 as BJP Chief Minister in Gujarat, and 2014 to 2024 as Prime Minister of the country. Even though there is the so-called NDA alliance, but they had their own majority. First time 282 seats for BJP, and the second time 303 seats for BJP. But this time they are facing the reality of like what Vajpayee had faced, or Vajpayee that did 2 times as at the prime ministerial level. Modi is facing that challenge. Given his temperament, given his leadership, Modi will continue, and also he's on a historic. At the same time, I think we should give due credit to NDA, because after 10 years, even then, if they are able to get majority, if not alone, but in partnership with the other parties, if they're able to cross 272, it is a remarkable achievement. I think after Pandit Nehru, he's the first prime minister, first politician in the country to have 3 consecutive terms. But even then, given the way he was administering, will he be ready to head the government? Given, I think one incentive would be like he is making history, so I don't think he will lose that opportunity. But at the same time, and I was, checking with somebody, I mean, somebody who's observing him very closely. He said, Mr. Modi is a very, a politician, shrewd politician. Probably he will realign himself and adjust to the new reality and will be ready to take the coalition forward. What do you think? What do you think, sir?
During the third phase of this LS polls, a lot of talks were in Delhi because when the third phase of the election was there and when the polling percentage has substantially come down, there was a general talk in Delhi that if the BJP will not get the single majority, BJP, that is, he is not in a position to get 272 seats, then Modi may not take the venture to head an alliance, an NDA alliance, and he may step down. But that was only a speculation because, as you pointed out, that he is a very personality-oriented, personality-centric, and with a lot of agenda of his own. So once he vacates the seat of prime ministership, there will be so many aspirants will come within the party because even there were also rumors that Yogi Adityanath is emerging as a potential rival or the force against the Modi in the UP. Now that has gone down because now even the chair of the Yogi Adityanath is at stake because of the very poor performance. So that question is out of. So if you record his history, for example, as the Prime Minister or the Gujarat Chief Minister, if you take the history or the political history of the Prime Minister, we can say that he will not step down from this post or he will not vacate the post in favor of some other incumbent or some other prospective BJP leader to head the coalition or the alliance. For example, when this Gujarat issue or the Godhra massacre and other things was taken a lot of, there was a very crucial national executive meeting of this BJP, and which was conducted by Adal Bihari Vajpayee. Then at that time, there was a lot of pressure from various angles, and Adalji has suggested that it is Rajya Dharma. To proclaim the Rajya Dharma, you may also vacate the chief ministership and morally take the responsibility and to have a clean image. But the suggestion was not at all accepted even at that time. Even leaders like Arun Jaitley and others were in dilemma. What should be the approach to be taken? So in such an eventuality, because even within the party, within the BJP, there is some Nitin Gadkari or Piyush Goyal or others, even Amit Shah, because Amit Shah has a huge majority in his Gandhinagar seat, more than 7 lakhs running to 8 lakh votes. So for the time being, this Modi or the BJP will not precipitate because of the shaky position, because they may be getting in and around 230 to 235 seats as alone, and NDA alliance will be in between 290 to 295. They may not cross 300. In such a shaky position, they will not play any game because in the Modi guarantee and the Modi's charisma, they try to bring together the NDA alliance and try to try to manage a government at the center. In due course, if differences will crop up, for example, the TDP has more than 16 or 17 seats, then the Nitish Kumar has also got a number of seats from Bihar. If these two potential leaders or other NDA partners create some sort of problem for the alliance, then they will think of alternative suggestions. For example, Nitish may come out with a suggestion because of earlier he has openly made some statements that Narendra Modi, because of his so many policies, is not acceptable a leader. While he was in the India alliance or having some soft corner toward the India alliance or close nexus with the Sharad Pawar, he made so many statements about the. So his situation will develop on such a manner, or such a scenario may develop from the side of this TDP or Chandrababu Naidu. Then only this alternative question will come whether the BJP and NDA alliance will think of replacing Modi. For the time being, I feel that there are least chances of a replacement of Modi at the center.
So since you mentioned Rajya Dharma during Adalji's time, something that I read recently, or I think that time also, I think I've been keenly following Indian politics. I remember it was Chandrababu Naidu among so many coalition partners that NDA won, headed by Adalji. Chandrababu Naidu also put a lot of pressure on Prime Minister that time to change leadership in Gujarat. The
Gujarat.
same Chandrababu Naidu
Very
also,
correct.
said, and also said, few years back, this video was viral when finally BJP and TDP came together this time. He said, I am not supporting Modi because I don't support his policies. The same Chandrababu Naidu played a kingmaker role in 1996, and I think even during 1999 NDA rule. Chandrababu Naidu is returning to national scene with a big bang. I say he has got. I'm not. I think he has got 2/3 of majority. His alliance with the Janasena and
Yes,
BJP in
yes, yes.
Andhra Pradesh. So he's a very, very, very comfortable position at the state level. At the same time, he smells the opportunity that he had in 96 and 99 and 98 when he was part of the BJP, 99 as part of the BJP, because I think he is responsible for, he and Bhaskar Singh Surji, 1996, they were responsible for two prime ministers, Deva Gowda and I.K. Gujarat.
Yeah, Gujarat.
Now Chandrababu Naidu is, coming back to capital, and I remember, listening to some of the discussions the other day about the Chandrababu, about what the way he used to play politics in Delhi when he was a very prominent face. He used to go to planning commission first before he goes and meets Adalji. He will negotiate everything. And it was also same as the case with Jayalalitha also. And when she was supporting and withdrawing 1998 government, and now these opportunities will be there with these two, if they stick with NDA, these opportune movements will be there with both Nitish and Chandrababu Naidu. So I was wondering, it's a full circle. We've seen the reason I say it's a full circle because BJP was called out many times last 5-6 years that if any alliance partner is with BJP, finally BJP will eat into their vote share. They decimated many of the local parties like that in various states. But this time without coalition partner, they can't rule the state. So coming back to UP, what do you think about Yogi's future? Because there was a discussion before the elections that if BJP is winning UP, it's a vote for Yogi, not for Modi. And there was also a rumor that if Modi comes back third time, and he will remove Yogi within 2 months. This is before elections or during the campaign. But now we are coming to a very peculiar setting where he was not able to win seats for BJP. And that is, as far as I read the election results, UP, and as the old say, if you win UP, you will
Yes,
rule
you
the
will.
country. And
Yes.
so this time they were not able to win UP, and Modi was not able to win seats for BJP. Will it lead to a inner party struggle in the next few months? Because he is the he I don't know whether he was playing smart, looking at his future. I tend to believe like that. He is playing smart. That he's by playing a spoil sport to Modi's ambition to get a sizable majority. But at the same time, as long as BJP is in power, and as long as Shah and Modi and Shah are at the key decision-making level, I don't think it will be easier for them to remove him because I think Rajasthan also they suffered because of Vasundhara Raje was out because she was not campaigning for BJP. At this juncture, will Modi and Shah will take a decision that decision to replace Yogi in UP, sir?
Definitely, it is a serious setback for Yogi. The UP election trends is a serious setback for Yogi. But immediately, there is very unlikely that he will be removed from the chief ministership of the UP. The thing is that because he, just like Yogi, in the campaign in the majority of the constituencies or the key constituencies were undertaken by Prime Minister Modi himself. So many campaigns were organized, a number of meetings were, then the road shows were conducted, Varanasi and other, the Ayodhya and Ram Kshetra. So many issues with the focus of all campaign and all attention was the Prime Minister body itself. And in that he played a secondary role that Yogi has played. So the setback is definitely for Yogi, but for the time being, he may not be replaced. For example, but when UP is facing the next assembly elections, he will not be there. He will be surely replaced because earlier what happened is Shivraj Singh Chauhan, one of the most popular chief ministers, and you rightly mentioned Yashoda Raja Scindia in the Rajasthan. Vasudha Raja Scindia, sorry, Vasudha Raja Scindia in Rajasthan, and Shivraj Singh Chauhan, the most popular in the Madhya Pradesh. They were replaced at the time of elections. So, at the time of next UP elections, definitely Yogi will not be there, and there will be a replacement. And he may be adjusted or the organization setup, or he may be inducted into the union cabinet or something there. But he definitely, Modi had his own plan to size up Yogi, and indirectly it was materialized because of the very poor performance of the NDA alliance in UP. That was in one way a blessing in disguise for Modi, because he was one of the most potential challenge. Yes, they didn't agree because even though he is a silent rebel leader within the party, his support is only confined in and around Nagpur or being safe for some part of Maharashtra. But in the major state, once you win the UP and you can win the India, that slogan, the UP is very crucial. So in that respect, Yogi's emergence, as a potential rival to this Modi, is now over because he may be in the organization setup or inducted into the India alliance at the center. So UP definitely that if this coalition works, for example, the Akhilesh Yadav Congress alliance will work, it will be formidable. And now there is a lesson for BSP also. The next assembly elections, most probably BSP may also align with the SP Congress alliance, and it will be a serious fight against the NDA alliance in UP. And one thing also here I like to mention is that the NDA alliance should have fared much better, because there was an initial hurdles for better coordination or synergy among India partners just before the five elections to the assembly. For example, a lot of vital bursts between Akhilesh Yadav and Kamalnath was there. For example, not a single seat was given to SP. And only the last phase of the India alliance was actually come into limelight only because of the persistent efforts by Akhilesh Yadav and others than Akhilesh Yadav. Now, as you mentioned about the Rajya Dharma, already the demand has already, Didi has already demanded the immediate resignation of Prime Minister because he has lost the mandate of the people of India. That was and considering the moral ethics in politics, he should, because the 2024 election was fought mainly on the slogan of the Modi guarantee. So Modi guarantee was not accepted by the large majority of the people. Though the party has won, or the NDA alliance has won some seat in and around 290 to 295, majority of the people have not accepted the slogan of Modi guarantee or Chaso Par. In that respect, the Didi has demanded, and other leaders will also follow the demand that the PM should resign, or he should not head the NDA alliance in the future government. That demand will be there. So definitely that issue will be there. And another point also, as you mentioned, Didi also pointed out the one point that TDP and JDU should be cautious, and whenever NDA is partnering with another small or regional party, the BJP will lead that party and their vote bank will be. So Didi has also cautioned this Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar that they should be cautious and they should come. That's an indirect call to the India. How the Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar will respond to this, we'll say, let us wait and watch.
So I have a slightly different take. If Because we have two coalition parties within NDA, JDU, and TDP. Both the leaders had expressed their lack of, I don't want to use the term confidence, but they don't appreciate Modi's policies in the past. They had many times come in the public domain, and it was also one of the reasons Nitish detached from India earlier. Chandrababu Naidu was also like that. Now, suppose I'm drawing a very hypothetical scenario. If both the parties demand we will support NDA but not Modi, what will be the case? And second, in that in that arithmetic, in that configuration, uh, we also had BJP President JP Nadda saying that BJP can win elections without the support of RSS. And my understanding is from many people, RSS is not happy with Narendra Modi for various reasons, even though he is the one who is delivering for them. But if RSS also take a chance, take a similar view on what Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar want, then what will be the political scene in India?
So it's a very tricky question in the sense that whether RSS will take, it's a hypothetical question because it's such a situation when the strength of BJP has substantially gone down, whether the RSS will take such an extreme step. That is the main question.
Yeah.
Because even though there are reports or there were speculation that RSS was not happy with the performance of Modi, the ground level, they have worked like anything. For example, in the ground level, RSS cadres or their friend organizations were very active in the campaign because they wanted, because of the agenda or the policies and programs pursued by the body was acceptable to them. But on the other hand, in order to lessen the opposition of the minority communities, RSS play, we are not much concerned about the campaign propaganda and other things. But at the ground level, they were playing a major role, especially in the North Indian states. They have played a significant role. But in that eventuality, they may not come with such a suggestion at this present juncture, even though they may have some differences with the body on some policy issues. For the time being, I think they will not make such a demand because this now the main thing is that at any cost, this NDA alliance should continue in power. For that purpose, they will try their levels to plug in Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar. They should remain in the camp of this Modi camp. For that, only thing is that suppose there will be some over-ambitious Nitish Kumar or Chandrababu Naidu make a demand, they want to head the NDA alliance, then the situation will develop because we cannot predict because already that idea was given by some India partners because already they made Sharad Pawar is telling you may be made the deputy chief prime minister or you may be even made the prime minister such offers because it was quite unexpected. For example, in the case of earlier, because as you rightly pointed out, a unique situation is emerging just like that the time of I.K. Gujral, Devagowda, Chandrasekhar and other thing. At that time was there because nobody expected that Devagowda will be elevated as a prime minister or I.K. Gujral will be elevated as a prime minister. See that Harkishan Singh Surjit and other leaders played the mediatory role and Devagowda, I.K. Gujral were brought into the main politics and they were elevated. If such an idea has come into the mind of Chandrasekhar or Nitish Kumar has such ambitions because one of the reasons which he left from India Alliance was because he was sidelined by India partners. If such a offer is coming, so we cannot predict because the leaders like Chandrababu Naidu or Nitish Kumar, because they are the kingmakers, the actual trump card is in their hand because they can now control the NDA from outside, from inside.
When I started, my interest in Indian politics sometime later, early 90s onwards, I think uh, uh, probably I was in school or college that time, school probably. But very often in media, I used to read that Chandrababu Naidu, the convener of United Front.
Yes.
So
Correct.
probably Chandrababu Naidu will demand NDA convenership this time. But at the same time, Nitish Kumar is also very aspirational in that way. He also convened early, I mean, for India Alliance when they started. And that is the time he demanded he should be projected as prime minister. So
Yes.
we have two ambitious leaders. They could go. And I also have another hypothetical question. Now let's say we have Modi as prime minister, and these two leaders are ready to work with him, and let's say after 2 years, I don't know what all political changes will happen because I have another question to ask you. I'll ask you this after this. Let's say they work together, and after 2 years, some disagreements, and they want to walk over to the opposition. But who knows, by the time from the opposition also somebody is ready to walk over to NDA.
Very, very correct. That's very correct. Your assessment is very, very correct, because already that fear is there. Because when this NDA government is emerging into power, and with if they are it's a stable government is established, definitely even there were some speculation DMK will be invited, because DMK has no permanent enmity with because
Right,
Stalin and
BJP.
others have some differences with the BJP leaders, especially after the emergence of Annamalai in Tamil Nadu. So if the political scenario change, and if DMK is properly accommodated in the center, even they may switch over. So it is not hypothetical. Such political reequations will also be emerged, because it is such a situation. That is why I am telling, just like at the time of I.K. Gujral or Devagowda or Chandrasekhar period, a very messy political situation will be emerging, with the key role being played by Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar. They will play any game. Because at the other camp also there is others like
Sharad
Sharad Pawar is there. Sharad
Pawar.
Pawar is there. He will not sit idle. Then Didi is a very potential leader, because Didi is there, Akhilesh Yadav is there, Sharad Yadav is there, Sharad Pawar is there. There are so many leaders. They will also try to play their game and to establish their things. So but in that process, we should also analyze how it will affect the economy and other development. Already it is noted, because the economy and other things, for example, those who are watching in the stock exchange and other things, the stock market and economy, on the
Crashed.
date of that exit poll, more than 2,600 points have come. Now it has more than 5,000 points has gone down. So the point is that economy will be, the continuity of policy will not be there, because even if this NDA alliance is establishing a government, it cannot pursue the policies, because definitely Chandrababu Naidu in Andhra or Nitish Kumar in Bihar, they have their own compulsions. For example, in the case of Andhra, so many issues are there, and they are heading a government in Andhra. And another that is more significant. And Bihar is also going to polls in 2026, I think, assembly polls. So they have their own political compulsions in Bihar as well as in Andhra Pradesh. They have their own government. So in line with to solve the problems of the state, they should exert pressure over the center. So there will be so many pressure tactics, and so many issues will crop up in India. So we cannot anticipate a very stable government at the center for the time being, that how will affect our economy, then how it will impact our foreign policy. Now Modi is accepted by so many world leaders, G20, these things, so many things are there. But what are the implications in such field, in our foreign policy relations, national security issues, then issues with the China, so and the domestic economy, so many issues will come up, because that was the main fear for the Modi during the time of campaign. If you closely analyze his speeches on the campaign and other things, he was always telling that we want a very 2035 or 2047, or we want a very advanced software superpower. So that slogan has now become a myth, because of this, that the Modi government cannot follow or vigorously pursue any policies, because they have to satisfy the compulsions or political pressure tactics of other partners like this TDP and this Nitish Kumar.
So my reading is that as long as there is a single party rule in the country, the opposition or those rest of the parties in the country, they will try to grab the power from that single largest party. The moment the coalition politics starts, there's no untouchability in the country. I mean, anytime anybody can walk, because they realize that there is an opportunity for them. I think it was proved again and again during the during NDA one time. BJP till that time was an untouchable party, but the untouchable party was touched by everyone almost, except for I think RJD, Lalu Yadav and party. Most of them had a share. Maybe I think SP also distanced it, but other a distance from BJP. But almost every other party, other than Congress, they had a share in the power. ADMK had, DMK had, TDP had, JDS had, everybody, all Janata Dal, most of them had power share. So now India is back to coalition politics. And we can see various permutations, combinations the next few years. Because I don't think even Modi will not be untouchable person in that case. If there is an opportunity, nobody will, you know, nobody will stop from, walk over to India Alliance. Sir, I have another couple of questions before I end the show. One is today, discussion is all about, uh, uh, you know, Congress is winning 100 seats, or SP is winning 35 seats. But I give due credit to the opposition. I give credit to opposition. But at the same time, I'm sometimes doubtful about the organizational setup. See, Congress is winning Congress is winning 7 seats in UP. I am not convinced whether they have got the organization, equally competent organization structure in a state like UP. Because they are in alliance with SP votes are, and I'm not saying, I'm not dismissing Congress victory, but realistically speaking. So it can also be a kind of anti-incumbency that is playing in favor of opposition. So will it be a long-standing, position of opposition as such? I'm not talking about Mamata. Mamata Didi has her political organization, very good, stable, robust organization there. But in the case of Congress, when I look at 100, because my assessment was around 80, 75, maximum 80, not more than 80. And for example, they are winning elections in Tamil Nadu. And I think all of us know that Congress doesn't have any structure in Tamil Nadu. They are winning seats in UP. They don't have any structure in Rajasthan. I see, because of Sachin Pilot and all, they have a structure and they were in government. So how do you see that? If they are not realistic about what they want today, and if they are not ready to build on the organization setup, it could be a one-time victory for them.
Your assessment is very correct because I was in almost all these states. For example, in Madhya Pradesh. In Madhya Pradesh, they lost all the seats and they have not even the polling agents in the majority of the places. For example, the former Chief Minister Digvijay Singh was defeated in Rajgarh constituency by more than 2 lakh or 3 lakh votes there in this election. Same was the case with the UP. As you rightly pointed out that riding on the shoulders of Akhilesh Yadav or SP, they could win the 7 seats. So, for example, the situation, you take the situation in West Bengal. Once upon a time, it was one of the strongest players of Congress. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary was defeated because there it was simply contesting the elections. For example, in Andhra Pradesh Congress was contesting single-handedly, and Sharmila was also defeated. In the single candidate, there was a prospect of that YSR's sister. She may be winning, but she was also defeated. Not a single seat could be made. That is mainly the organizational weakness of Congress in almost all the states. And because of the anti-incumbency factor of against the Modi government at the center, and so many localized issues, that was mainly resulted in the polarization or the consolidation of anti-BJP votes. That was translated into these India alliances that helped Congress and other India substantially that helped Congress. Except in some other states, for example, Kerala. Kerala, they have got some grassroots level, or in Karnataka, or in a majority of the North Indian states, what you earlier described, except Rajasthan, or what you described earlier as the Kaulan. Congress was totally been disseminated. The supporting organizations, is like they cannot have an effective organizational network in any of these states. So unless and until they build up the organizational network, then only they can have for example, 100 seats they are winning this time. That cannot be retained. Suppose they are contesting as their own, as happened in Andhra Pradesh, or in West Bengal, or in Gujarat, or in Madhya Pradesh, they cannot win a single seat as their own. Only because that is out of question, because the Indian politics is now on alliance politics. So definitely there will be alliances are there. So if alliances work properly, then Congress will make the advantage. Or otherwise, their organization setup, as he pointed out, is very weak in majority of the North Indian state, with the exceptions, and even in Andhra, in Telangana, they are building up, but in Kerala, Karnataka, and other states, they have some good organizational setup.
So for BJP South Indian states or Peninsula states saved them, and
Yes.
for Congress, still South Indian states are strongholds to them. But except for Tamil Nadu, last time also I had this argument. Last time also they were getting support from DMK seats in Tamil Nadu. This time also they're winning. Even Rajasthan, one CPM candidate won.
Okay.
I don't know how robust a CPM. Maybe as long as the parties are ready to have this alliance, they're ready to share their seats and all, and that way, I think I respect the decision of Congress party to contest only 328
Correct.
seats this time.
Very
They
correct.
left remaining seats to other parties. That is a right decision. It's proven to be a right decision. So, last question. I would like to bring few disparate points together. One is, there is a debate on constitution. There was a debate on the institutional hijack. Starting from election commission to Supreme Court to major institutions. There was a talk in town about. I think this will be shelved. One nation, one poll. I think that will be shelved. I think government had prepared 100-day program agenda. I don't know how far this is realistic now, since they are getting into coalition arrangement if this government is coming back. Many celebrate that this is a victory. Democracy is thriving in this country. People have talked out because they were not happy probably the way government is functioning. And the other one is this. I hope this will end the debate on EVMs. Today morning also when I switched, early morning, when I switched on my television, the news was about there could be rigging in EVM, and they will go to president if they are not going to win. If they are not winning seats as they thought, they may go for a protest in Delhi and all. But eventually, I think we should be happy with the systems that we are running. I'm happy, meaning I'm sure there is a scope for improvement, and we need to make sure that organizations, institutions are independent in nature. But this election is a reminder of, or reminding the government that there is a limit that you can play with these institutions. People in this country will express. They will draw a line. Beyond that, nobody can exercise the power that is given by the voters in this country. I think true with Indira Gandhi, true with Narendra Modi now. So finally, democracy is thriving, and that's probably the reason, like we say, like we are celebrating the festival of democracy. So probably we can end with that summary note, sir. Sir, your comments on this?
Yes, exactly. That is the greatest message that you have got. That is the positive message that the democracy is safe, constitution is safe, secularism is safe, and the intervention in the or use of institutions, august constitutional institutions, liberally against opponents, that is also unwanted. And there are also flaws in the policies of the government, and it was not effectively implemented. All these factors, because that was created a lot of resentment among many cross-sections of the people. Even in the case of CAO, Uniform Civil Code, there were not enough discussions in the parliament or outside, and it was also created an impression it is one-sided, affecting certain particular community. That propaganda has also worked against the NDA, because many of the flaws in their policies and the overemphasis on religiosity or religion or such factors also worked against them. And that was this thing. So the positive factors we should find. A viable or strong opposition has emerged, and they, to a certain extent, can checkmate the dictatorial or authoritarian policies of the government, the future government. Along with that, the attempts to trample upon the constitution, secularism, or democracy will be checkered to a great extent. That was the greatest message. The positive message is that the people ultimate are the decision or the destiny makers of the nation. And that was proved once again in 2024 elections.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful 1 hour discussion. And probably I close this discussion. I'm actually surprised. Almost every exit poll agencies, pollster, proved wrong. And I think everybody has to go back to drawing room and understand what went wrong. Because everybody, see, not even a single agency, as far as I know, because the minimum number that agencies were quoting around 340 to 356.
Correct.
From 340 above, many have different ranges, up to 401.
But
Everybody is given proven wrong. So are we also swayed by the I mean news reports and news channels, or the I don't know, the news around us on social media and all. So that's another big lesson. I think everybody, with a pinch of salt, we admit that we all went wrong this time, and I'm sure we learned from these mistakes, academic rigor, that somewhere we lost or somewhere we made some wrong calculations. That's another lesson that I also learned from this election series. So thank you so much, sir, for your time. Over to you, election.
Thank you, sir.
As we wrap up this insightful discussion on India's 2024 general elections with the expertise of our esteemed guest, Mr. K.V. Thomas, we have provided insightful analysis on the implications of these election outcomes for the BJP-led NDA and the broader political landscape in India. We have also examined the factors that have contributed to this shift, the potential need for revisiting exit poll methodologies, and the future trajectory of Indian democracy. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for joining us throughout this series. We hope our discussions have shed light on the complexities of the electoral process and provided valuable perspectives on Indian politics. Until next time, thank you and Jai Hind.